Well, as the temperature drops, nothing quite warms the soul after a day out in the cold like a bowl of chili. Most families have their favorite recipe or method of preparation, but with chili, the possibilities are actually endless. TV chef Jeffrey Saad is with me today to show how families can put some seasonal twist on this fall favorite. Thank you for joining me today, Jeffrey.
You bet. Thank you for having me.
Now, first, tell us, what exactly is it about chili that makes it such a family favorite during the cooler months?
Well, you know, for as long as I can remember growing up, a pot of chili was a good thing. It was always delicious, and it's just kind of that body and soul warming food, and especially as the temperatures drop, it just sounds good. You want to reach for that pot of chili. And what's great about chili is everybody has their version, you know, and everyone will swear by the kind of beans they use or the meat they use. But at the end of the day, what they all have in common is they're delicious. But what excites me as a chef is that you can take that delicious favorite recipe and take it to a whole new level by the way we're going to add toppings and bases.
Absolutely. Now, with your experience as a chef, what have you found are the most popular ways that people make chili?
Well, a current great trend is I love using these chili beans, because what Bush's has done is they've taken the beans and simmered them in chili spices and sauces, so that already you basically you're halfway to chili just by popping the top. So you got a traditional kidney bean chili, we got a great white chicken chili, and this one's actually thickened with a little bit of cream of chicken soup. So that's a very Midwest thing I grew up with as well. So you're getting a lot of texture and flavor. And then we got a vegetarian chili, which other than the title, you'll never think it's vegetarian again because it's so hearty. It's black beans, it's kidney beans. So these are kind of a great springboard to go from. But then there's endless ways you can amp it up in the pot and out of the pot.
Absolutely. And another thing I like about Bush's, too, is that they are gluten-free, which definitely makes it a little healthier for families as well. Now, what are some ideas that families can use to add some new twist to their chili meal?
Well, especially with families, I think everybody has their own idea of what they want their chili to be. So once you get the family favorite well, or you've amped it up with these chili beans, or you've done something to make it your own, now everybody gets to make it their own with the topping they choose. So you could put your traditional shredded cheeses, but why not maybe trying a manchego cheese or a little creamy goat cheese? You know, you could put onions on top, raw chopped onions. Sometimes they're kind of hot and oniony. Why not grill them first or char them in the broiler so that they soften and sweeten up a little bit? You know, I like to take bell peppers for those who don't want spice, jalapeno peppers for those who love it when you bring the heat. Char these over an open flame right on your stovetop or in the broiler, and peel them, chop them. Delicious way to amp up the chili. Then you can also just simple things like maybe crush some corn tortilla chips over the top instead of crackers. You know, when it comes to sour cream, maybe stir in some spices, some paprika, some rosemary oil, or even a cilantro pesto. I make a great cilantro pesto, and then we stir that into the Mexican chili.
Absolutely. Now, you mentioned some things that families can do to take their chili up a notch. What are some things that families may already have in the pantry that they can use to help create their perfect bowl of chili?
Well, you know, it's funny that you say may already have in their pantry, because the pantry is the center of flavor for the kitchen for sure. And a lot of people do already have a lot of this stuff, so part of it might just be to organize it. I love to have a whole shelf of beans. So I got all kinds of varieties because there's a bean for every mood and for every kind of chili you're trying to create. It's nice to have white beans. It's nice to have black beans. You want to have the hearty kidney beans. You want to have those earthy black beans and the creamy pinto beans, all of them. But then you want to have lots of good bases, which you'll use for all your cooking anyway. What's a really good chicken broth, a veggie broth, a beef broth that you'll use? Because, you know, as chefs, we say that's our water. That's always going to add flavor instead of using water. And then tomato purees. Tomato is a great way to add a little brightness with acidity, great color. So have a pure tomato puree like a San Marzano or Palmy makes a wonderful one. And then spices, spice it up. You know, grab those spices that are maybe in a drawer that are alphabetized, and maybe arrange them in your pantry on a shelf or a cabinet by country. So maybe you put cumin and coriander together and try to group the spices how you might use them. You do all that and you're gonna have endless possibilities for your chili and for all your cooking.
Absolutely, I love that. Now, what are some of your last-minute tips for those families who may be busy, but they still want to throw on that pot of chili at the end of the day? What are some last-minute tips that you have for them?
Yeah, I think the last-minute tips can be using the chili beans because they're already halfway there, so that's a great shortcut, and not a shortcut in flavor, amazing flavor. The other thing I would say is to have some of those stir-ins, even fresh herbs or spices at the end, so it just wakes it up and gives it a fresh, bright flavor. And then, of course, what you put it into, tortillas or, you know, crackers.
I love it. Thank you for that. And lastly, Jeffrey, where can people go for more recipe inspiration?
Go to bushbeans.com. I've partnered up with them to create amazing tips, great recipes, great meal ideas. So if you go to the website, you're going to be endlessly inspired. You'll be having great chili all year long.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And like you said, for more chili recipe ideas and flavor inspiration to use this season, visit www.bushbeans.com. Thank you so much for joining me again. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Take care.